Hey, Derek. We just talked to Mike Harley, and he talked about how they felt challenged, to kind of step up this week. Obviously, the struggles earlier in the year, especially with the deep balls, etc. To get those early ones, to get the game going fast. How much did that help you guys tonight? And I guess, can you speak a little bit to Mike, stepping up and having such a big game like he did?
Yeah, no doubt. I think he helped us a lot. Will made a great catch on the first play, and then Harley took it the distance. I think that's what we need. I think we're going to keep after throwing the ball deep and keep trusting those guys, and I think those guys will make plays. Mike played a great game. He stepped up. Like you said, I think the receivers felt challenged all week just from inside the building. So he stepped up, and he had an outstanding game. I'm happy for him.
Awesome. Next up, we're going to go to David Foronas of the Sun Sentinel. David, go ahead.
Hey, Derek. You mentioned Will in there as well, and early on it seemed like he was really going to have a big game as well. The offense kind of didn't find him again later on as the game continued and progressed. Just what happened there was just the flow of the game, was just the way Virginia was playing, and obviously you did have a lot of success finding Mike regardless.
Yeah, I think it was just a flow of the game. I think everybody knows our tight ends are really, really good. So I think a lot of teams focus on those guys. And if they do that, I think it opens up to everybody else. That's why Mike had a great game. Pope played good. Wiggs played good as well. So I'm proud of those guys. We got to keep getting better.
Awesome. Next up, we have Susan Miller-Degnan of the Miami Herald. Susan, go ahead. Susan, I think you're still on mute.
Okay, there we go. Derek, one half of the season is over. How fast has it gone for you? And what are your thoughts now after half a season going into the bye week as far as how you feel you've done, how you feel you guys could still improve, and what you're looking forward to in the second half?
Yeah, it's going super fast. I feel like every year the season flies by. But as far as the first half of the season, I mean, we're 5-1. Obviously, we want to be 6-0. We lost one game to Clemson. We got a bye week this week. I think we start getting a lot of guys back. So we just got to keep stacking. I think the second half of the season, that's where the great teams are going to step up. You got to just take one week at a time. You can't overlook anybody. You got to just try to go 1-0 every single week, and the rest will take care of itself.
All right, Derek, this next question is from David Wilson of the Miami Herald. And David asks, did you see a different attitude from the wide receivers this week? And was there anything you felt like Mike did well today that wasn't necessarily happening earlier this year?
Yeah, no doubt. I think, like I said, I think inside the building from coaches, just for everybody. And, I mean, those guys are smart guys. Everybody, it was the elephant in the room. We got to start connecting down the field. They got to start making plays. I got to start throwing the ball better for those guys to make plays. And I think the good thing about that was everybody was positive. Nobody was negative at practice. Man, I'm so proud of those guys, the way they played tonight, just because they kept a great attitude and they came out here and had a real good game. As far as Mike, man, Mike is the leader of that group. He's a senior. He's the leader of the receiver group. I feel like he keeps a lot of people in place, and just the way he played tonight, it's a testament to what kind of guy he is. He just works hard, and good things will happen for him.
All right, Derek, our last question for you comes from Tom D'Angelo of the Palm Beach Post. Tom, go ahead.
Hey, Derek, have you ever seen a depth chart with 9 guys listed as the starters?
No, that was the first time I seen that. But yeah, it's like it's like anything. Like I said, it's college football, big time college football. Anybody can play. You got to be worried about guys trying to take your job in a good way. I think competition brings out the best in a lot of people. And I think a lot of guys will continue to keep getting opportunities to get on the field, and I think it's always a good thing.
Thank you.
All right, Derek, thanks for taking the time to talk with us.
I want to say something. I want to say shout out to all the first of all, my mom. She's a breast cancer survivor. I love her to death. Strongest woman I ever met in my life, and just shout out to all the women that have been through it and just survived. Super strong, and thank you.
Hey, Don, obviously the first half was a little bit of a struggle to run the football. I want to know what opened up a little bit in the second half to kind of get the running game going, and then eventually lead to you punching in that touchdown from a yard out on the Wildcat.
First off, I want to start by saying it was mainly off the explosive plays from the wide receivers and Derek. Once we started feeding off the energy of that, the run game started really flowing and going in the flow, and it just started, just getting in the groove.
Great. Next up, we're going to go to David Wilson of the Miami Herald. David, go ahead.
Hey, Donald, gave you a lot of carries in the second half, you and Jalen. Obviously it's mostly been Cam getting the bulk of the carries this year as kind of the number one guy, but just how nice is that to have that kind of depth where you guys can kind of ride the hot hand, when it might not be working for one of you guys?
I mean, it's the same. It's just, just getting the ball. It's nothing major. Just when you get the ball, you just make the most of your opportunity. So that's what me and Jalen did. We made the most of our opportunities.
All right. Next up, we're going to go to Manny Navarro of The Athletic. Manny, go ahead.
Hey, Don, you obviously weren't with the team last year, but you saw them struggle, to get to 6 wins. And you guys are already at 5-1, and you got 5 games left. How do you feel at the halfway point? Do you feel like things have changed? You guys have been able to come in and make a real difference with this program. And what are you sort of looking forward to the second half after the bye week?
About the change, it doesn't take, just one class to make a change. It took the entire team, all the team bonding that we did, all the things we did on campus, which is in the bubble. It took all of that to, fully change this team, not just one 2020 class. But what was the second part of your question again?
Just as you look ahead, I mean, you guys are at 5-1 right now. You're ranked 11th in the country. Just having a chance to play maybe in the ACC championship game. What are some of the things you're looking forward to here in the second half?
Just keep doing what we're doing, grinding, working hard, don't stop. It's motivation. We got to get there. That's how we feel. We got to get there.
Thanks.
All right, next up, we're going to go to David Lake of InsideTheU. David, go ahead.
Yeah, Don, I'm curious if you feel like things are slowing down out there for you when you're on the field. Seems like you're, more confident, taking the right tracks, etc. Is it fair to say that things are slowing down?
Yeah. I would say things are more calm, as I get more into the season. And the more I go over the plays with Derek and Coach Lashley and Coach Hick, things start slowing down for me. And because, I'm a youngin', so once our first game and stuff like that, I was just like, it's all faster than usual. This isn't high school anymore, stuff like that. But the more I communicate with those guys, the more it slows down for me.
All right, our last question for you comes from Susan Miller-Degnan of the Miami Herald. Susan, go ahead.
Yeah, hey there. So I know Manny Navarro was talking about half the season being over. Has it gone fast, do you think? And also I wanted to know, what you're most proud of this season with the team and yourself as an individual, and how you're feeling, as far as hopes for the title game for the ACC.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand that.
Just what are you most proud of right now so far this season? And as an individual and for your team. And I wanted to know your thoughts on the next half of the season as far as the ACC title game. You still have a lot of hope to get in that game.
Okay. What I'm most proud of is probably how I've seen the team come together. It's a new team, a whole bunch of new players. So the way things came together, it's remarkable. And with me, I wouldn't say too much, just like in my last question where I start to tend to, make things become slower to me so I can understand it more. I've become way better at that. And I feel like for the second half of this season that, oh man, words can't even describe how I feel, but I feel very optimistic about it, because I've seen this team. I felt like I've seen this team grow from, down here to up here. Our confidence is up there. That's where it should be. So, like I said, I just feel very optimistic about this season, about the rest of the season, and where it's going to take us.
Great. Thank you.
Awesome. All right, Donald. Thanks for taking the time to talk with us, and congrats on the victory.